Hi, Happy New Year! Welcome into 2016. This is Treacleb and I am bringing you some new videos in 2016. We're starting off with what am I going to do with this week, and we're going to be making a guacamole dip. These avocados came in our veg box and we're going to be grouping that together with some lovely spicy quesadillas. Now, we're going to now have a look at the ingredients. There's quite a lot of ingredients today, but bear with us because it's a couple of stages to the process. Okay, let's go and have a look at the ingredients. Okay, so the first thing you need to look at is the marinade actually for the chicken that's going to go in the spiced chicken quesadillas. And you're going to need a few ingredients for that because we need to put that in onto the chicken and let it marinate while we're making the guacamole. So first thing we need is a chili type sauce. Now I've got a Nando's hot piri piri which I put in, and you're going to need about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of that. The next thing you're going to need is ground cinnamon, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 3 garlic cloves, 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, 1 tablespoon of paprika, and half a teaspoon of sea salt, and about 75 millilitres of vegetable or sunflower oil. Right, so now we're going to look at the actual ingredients you need for the chicken quesadillas themselves. We are going to need some tortillas. Now we've got wholemeal ones, but you can use just regular plain white ones. You'll need some chicken fillets, which you will need to hammer down flat-ish when you cook them, just to make them cook a bit more evenly. And we'll need 200 grams of grated cheese. You'll see how all of this comes together because I've got some chicken that we made earlier marinated in the fridge as we speak. So we'll come back to that. And next we're going to be looking at the ingredients for the guacamole. Okay, for the guacamole, you're going to need 2 to 3 ripe avocados, and you're going to need a good handful of chopped coriander, and also some chopped tomatoes. I've used these little baby ones, they're quite sweet and tasty, and also a pinch of pepper and a pinch of salt. Okay, so we're going to make the marinade now. So here are all the lovely ingredients which I mentioned. So we're going to put all the dry ingredients in. So there's the paprika, the cinnamon, this is the dried oregano, there's the cumin and the 3 garlic cloves. So we're going to pop all of that stuff in to here, into the bowl. Just tip it in. Take those garlic cloves out. Okay, and we'll give it a good grind of salt. Now, as I say, I've used this Nando's hot piri piri sauce, but to be honest, you can use any type of chili type sauce and just do it to your taste really. This is hot and spicy, and depending on the length of time you marinate the chicken will depend on the amount of flavour you get into it. So I'm just going to tip a couple of good tablespoons of this in. That's got lots of lovely ingredients in it anyway. And now we're going to crush the garlic in. It really smells lovely in here actually at the minute. And these recipes, I'm thinking of really, actually, once you marinate this chicken, you could do it the night before and leave it in the fridge. It wouldn't matter. I mean, depending on the amount of marinade that you want it to take, or you get your chicken fillets and you put them in when you get in, and then as I'm doing, you make the you marinate the chicken and make the guacamole while the chicken's marinating. So now we're going to just add this oil in, and we're going to give it a good stir in. It makes quite a loose marinade, and as you can see, it looks quite tasty as it is. And then what we're going to do is add this to the chicken fillets, which as I suggested before, you flatten a little bit because it aids in the cooking process, because you're going to slice it into thinnish slices when the chicken fillets are cooked. We're going to grill them, but what I'm going to do now is I'll cut back to our marinated chicken and we'll get on with the cooking process. So here's the chicken that we've had marinating for about 40 minutes, and you can see that all the garlic and all of the herbs and the spices are really well marinated into that now. As I say, you could do this the night before and leave it in the fridge overnight, it'd be fine. And what we need to do is put it onto a griddle pan and grill it under the grill. This is the best way to cook it. It is going to take about 15 to 20 minutes to cook that chicken, and I'll lay it on the tray and I'm going to pop it under the grill to cook, and we'll cut back and we're going to look at how we make the guacamole now. Right, okay, so we're going to start and make the guacamole now, and I'm just going to say, when you buy your avocados, just try and ensure you get them nice and ripe, or buy them and leave them out to go ripe. These are, if you feel them, they do feel slightly squishy. Don't go too hard on the press because you might push through the skin, which will make a bit of a mess. But you can see they do press in. And when I cut this, you'll obviously see that the flesh inside is quite soft. If they're too green, they're too hard, you won't be able to scoop them out from the skin. We've experienced this, and it's hard, and then you think, and then the avocado doesn't taste great either. You might think it looks a bit odd, but let's cut one open and we'll show you what it looks like inside, and then I will demonstrate how to scoop it out. Now, just twist it. Yeah, see, that twists out really easily. Now, don't worry about these brown bits. You can see the stone is quite brown, and that's a good thing. Now, we'll just bring the bowl into shot and get a spoon, and I'm going to scoop this out. That really, really easily comes out of the skin, as you can see. And that just takes a second. And what I'll do is I'll just pop it in the bowl, and I'll just take those few little bruised bits out. So really, really easy. And there's the skin. They come out so easy. If they're not ripe, that's a different challenge altogether. So that's a stone out. Look, the stone's quite hard actually. It's a bit like a conker. And just scoop this one out. Bit of a messy process, but nothing too hard. And there you can see that's probably where I've been pressing it now. Okay, and what we'll then do is mash this up. So I'll just cut this other one open. We might as well do it all while we're here. Oops, oh, that's coming. The skin's come off that altogether. It's that ripe, so let's try and get the. There we go. To be honest, it's a bit like a bruised apple. That doesn't really matter if you eat those brown bits. and that's going to come off all together as well. Looks at that, nice and ripe. I'll just cut that end off. Getting in a right mess with it. Oh. Anyway, what we'll do is we'll cut back and we'll mash that up and we'll get the guacamole itself started. Okay, right, so we're going to smush this avocado down now for the guacamole. These are quite ripe, so it's not too hard to smash it down. You could use a masher actually to do this. If you were going to put this in a salad, you want them slightly less ripe actually, and a bit harder. And what we're going to do is we're going to smush this all down into a nice, easy, smooth texture. Well, you want a few lumps in it actually, and then we're going to add the chopped coriander in, and then the tomatoes just at the end. So we'll cut back to when this is all smushed together. Okay, so now we're going to add the chopped coriander. I prepared this earlier, and you might not need all of that, but what I advise you do is add quite a chunk of it in. I'd say a good handful of it in, mix it in and see how much you want the taste. Now, as you can see, that avocado was mashed down really well. And actually different size avocados will require different amounts of coriander in, obviously. Some are larger and some are about the same size as the sort of smaller ones that we've done today. But this smells really, really great actually. And next we're going to add a little bit of salt. And we're now going to add some chopped tomatoes. So I've used these little baby tomatoes, and they're really nice in this recipe. Just give that a quick swirl through. The recipe I've got does suggest that you might want to add a squeeze of lemon, but I think I would suggest that you do that to your own taste. Maybe add a bit more tomato in there. So maybe add a bit more coriander, depending on how you like how you like that to taste. The one thing about this recipe is because all of the ingredients are so fresh, it hands down beats things you can buy from the supermarket. To be fair, everybody can buy guacamole from the supermarket shelf. But I think this is better because it tastes fresher. I am going to add a squeeze of lemon in, and give that a little stir around. We might want to add a little bit more once we've tasted it. So I'm just going to get a little spoon and give that a taste. That's lovely actually. I don't think it needs any more lemon. As I say, taste it and see how it tastes to you. That fresh coriander really comes through. So that's that done. We'll plate that up, and we will try that alongside our spicy chicken quesadillas, which we're now going to have a look at making. Right, okay, so now we're going to grill the chicken. As I said, we have, I hammered this. I did it with my rolling pin actually. If you've got one of those fancy meat flatteners, that's all equally the right tool for the job. So anyway, it's quite flat. It's been marinated. So what we're going to do is pop it into the hot grill. And that's going to need to cook for around 15 to 20 minutes. I would suggest you just check it because it just needs to be cooked through. but the meat will stay succulent because it's cooking quite quickly. Okay, that's super. We'll cook back then, and then we'll put together the actual quesadillas themselves. Where we get to the good bit where we get to cook that and taste that. I'm quite hungry now, it's nearly lunchtime, so that's brilliant. Okay, we'll see you in a minute. Okay, the chicken's cooking nicely. It's been in there for about 6 minutes now, so what I'm going to do is take the grill out. Take it out of the grill. You can see it looks lovely. I'm going to turn it over. Right, and we are just going to cook the other side. I think it should take probably just about another 5-6 minutes maybe, and then we'll take it out and chop it up, ready for the quesadillas. Okay, so the chicken's now cooked. I'm going to take it out. See, it's nice and brown. Just pop it up on here and turn the grill off. It's a bit noisy. And now what we're going to do, sorry, step in front of the camera, is just take this chicken off, and we are going to just slice it. Now this will be easy and easier to put it into the quesadillas then. So look, it's nice and cooked in the middle, but still quite moist. And that's the trick of cooking it hot and cooking it really hot and getting it cooked quite quickly. It does smell absolutely fabulous actually, and these nice crunchy bits on the top will be really great inside the quesadilla. So that's that cut up, sorry. I'll just cut these other bits up, and what we're going to do, then is put the actual quesadilla together. So we'll come back to that just when I've finished doing this, and I'll show you how you put those quesadillas together and how you actually just cook them. And we're about 5 minutes away from eating now, which is great. Okay, so what we've got is some nice grated cheese. I'm just going to sprinkle some of this on the quesadilla. On the tortilla, I should say, actually, quesadilla. We've got a fine grater, so you're not going to use too much if you're thinking about your waistline. I say these are whole wheat tortillas. You could use white, not regular plain ones. And then all we do is pop the chicken in. Oh. Okay. And then all we do is wrap it over. Now that's basically it, and I turn them on their side like this, and then I make the next one. And what we're going to then do is we've got a griddle, but you could do this in a frying pan. What we then do is we actually put it the other way up on the pan. The cheese melts and seals it together, and it seals through both sides. The chicken seals both of these bits together, and it comes out with nice griddle lines on it. So we've got the griddle warming up now. If you do that in a frying pan, it's just as easy and straightforward. You won't just won't get the ribbed lines on there. So we're going to now go across to the griddle and start to cook these quesadillas. Our griddle's nice and hot now. Just going to turn it down a tiny bit. It's not quite as noisy. And we're going to lay these quesadillas on. You can kind of hear a bit of a sizzle. That's really hot actually, so it's good, it doesn't take too long. And what we're aiming to do is to see this cheese melt that's inside. Once that cheese is melted, it's safe to turn them over. If we were to try and do it just now, the cheese won't have melted it together, so it will be quite hard to turn over. This is a Mexican recipe, obviously. We do eat quite a bit of Mexican food, and when I made these in the week, they went down a treat actually with my family. As I say, they're quite easy once you've done the marinade. I think all together it's probably only take about half an hour to cook, and they're really filling, and they're really tasty. We serve them with some guacamole, and if you want, you can have sour cream and salsa as you would do with burritos or just regular fajitas. Right, I think we'll give it a try. Turn it over. Okay. You can keep just trying these and keep turning them over. You may want to cook them a bit longer, or turn them the other way around so it's something like a grid pattern on there. And it's actually the heating process, although that looks crispy, it actually slightly softens the tortilla up, because obviously the steam building up inside that tortilla. And it won't cook the chicken anymore, but the cheese melting, they will become more supple inside. You can hear the cheese are sizzling there. Let's have a look. Yeah. Done. What I'm going to do is just try and turn them over this way. That's it. Oops. Hot fingers. Okay. Just give them 2 more minutes and then we'll take them off and slice through them, and we'll have a look at that and we'll give them a taste. Okay, so the quesadillas are cooked, guacamole is ready to try, and if you've never had guacamole before, the actual taste is quite creamy. This is very fresh tasting. You can really taste the coriander in that, which gives it a little bit of a kick and a herby hint to it. The tomato comes through, it's a little bit acidic, but generally it's a very fresh and lively taste. It's worth giving a try. If you've never tried it before, it might be worth just buying some from the supermarket and giving that a try. But you will really notice the difference if you make it fresh yourself. The avocados are really easy to handle, as I suggested. So what we're now going to do is try the quesadilla. Now I've made this with a medium heat chili taste to it. They are quite spicy, but they won't blow your head off. There's nothing too hot in there. So and obviously with the cheese, that kind of gives it a mellower taste as well. So we're going to give that a try. I'll just get a bit of guacamole on there. They are fabulous. The actual marinade has got a bit of a kick to it. The guacamole will take the edge off that a little bit because that's creamier. And I want everybody to give this a try and let me know what you think. and we'll be making another video, hopefully this week I think. We'll be trying a treacle bakes actually video, to get treacle bakes video out over the next 2 days. And let me know in the comments down below what you think, and if you've tried this recipe. And as I say, I really want some more people to subscribe to the channel. It would be great to know in the comments down below what you think, and what you think if you've never tried avocados. That's one big thing. Quesadillas, if you're not really into Mexican food and you've given this a try, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on quesadillas. Now, whatever comments you leave, I appreciate. Some of my subscribers have commented down below on the carrot cake that they made and made an attempt on, and I've given my feedback on that, so give it a try, and I wish you luck in making the recipe. Thanks again, bye!